Hello everyone, Dan Dog Crypto. Hope everyone's doing well. Want to wish everyone a happy new year. 2022 was a little shaky. Entering into a bear market, uncertainty, economic. But remember, the goal is to find potential winners and winners. The time to do it is in an economic cycle on a downturn. That is when you're going to see your most gains or find early opportunities. What happens here is when you purchase something, the goal is to enter at a time when there's less volatility on the downside or when it's breaking out, making new highs. The narrative has been set that we understand that the economy is struggling, Federal Reserve tightening, February potentially most likely we'll get another 50 basis point, April potentially a 25 basis point, entering into 2023. So the key indicator will be employment. As companies have started to initiate that they're going to slow down employment or reduce their workforce. So now that's a key indicator which would indicate that the feds at that point would need to take the brakes off this rate hikes. And of course, the quantitative easing is the flow of money. But irrelevant, the cryptocurrency is the highest appreciation class, far surpassing in a shorter period of time, certainly than the stock market. But they're running correlated at this point. So that's telling me that the narrative or large enough wallets that have an influence are directing this market based on what the narrative is. But there will be winners. So it's finding the potential winner. Some of the community has entered in and is a supporter of Hex, which when Hex launched, it was a bear market. So that would have been a time where you would have wanted to enter, but again, anyone that was familiar with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and legacy in the crypto market saying it's a scam. So at this point, Hex is just under 2 cents. So remember, it's 3 years old. So Hex, the journey of Hex, there was 365 days to enter into the OA lobby and take your claim or free claim with Bitcoin. During that journey, it's not like Hex shot up just overnight. So there was quite a few early adopters. One that comes to is Nightly Crypto that then was calling Richard Hart a scammer, wash trading, and he had a huge position at that time. Potentially, I believe it was over 50 million, maybe even more. And he was out every launch on the OA lobby every day This was even, I believe, right around the point that the crypto within the Hex community really wasn't formed yet, but he was early. And then certainly he was sharing negative news about hacks, and he was selling, and he sold at that time. It had to be more than 30, 40 million plus hacks got hit with a penalty. But Hex wasn't even at a penny at that point. He could have had more. Could have been 100 million. I mean, he had a lot of hacks. And what he did at that point, he had some of it staked, and he took a penalty and pulled out 30, 40,000. And of course, was negative towards hacks. So early is always your best opportunity. Now Hex is 3 years into it. So as you search, have you found hacks, haven't found hacks, do your research even with hacks. So some of the PZEN holders may have originated from hacks. So PZEN with Conrad Zen, this PulseChain was designed to launch on PulseChain, and anyone that's familiar with PulseChain, there was a sacrifice. But Hex, again, early opportunity to hold potentially liquid Hex. So what's happened here, Hex during the bull run had a 48 cents, close to 50-cent high. And certainly a lot of people did very well, ones that were not stake or had liquid hacks. So the purpose of hacks is certainly to stake it and earn your rewards. So you want to accumulate more hacks. How do you do it? Is you would stake it. So you have from 1 day to 15 years. So Hex generates more hacks. And the mechanism where people didn't understand hacks was the T-shares. And early on, trying to get and explain what a T-share represented was very difficult. But this Hex had quite a run, but it also launched during a bear market. So how Hex generates a yield is by staking, and you generate this yield the longer you tie it and hold your hacks, more earning and income will be generated. So there will be a lot of cycles during a 15-year period. So there will be cycles as the flow and rotations occur. So Hex generates a yield. Liquid Hex, you're just waiting for the price to go up. So now, by being a staker in Hex, the Hexicans have benefited from Hedron, because anyone that was an original OG received Hedron based on their stakes. Then, of course, there was Pulse Doge that was given to a non-whale, or larger percentage to the smaller players. And what they've done at this point is Bitcoin, Pulse Bitcoin, and they're going to also launch Pulse Litecoin. They have an ASICs where you were able to move your Pulse Doge into Pulse Bitcoin and reduce supply. So those are mechanisms that are used. you've seen these runs, so it was given, so the Hex community benefited there. So when you look at all Hex overall, for anyone that was early, had done very well, and the community is thriving. Well, within that community, what has happened is Richard Hart is launching PulseChain. So with that launch of PulseChain, Conrad Zen and team decided, hey, we're going to launch PulseZen on PulseChain. So it's not anti-Hex, it's in a community through the PulseChain that also is a subset now that you create PulseZen, which we call them Zenites. But at no time is it a direct dislike for Hex, because money transfers and there's going to be many opportunities. But remember PulseChain in the wait for it. So PZEN launched on Ethereum and is an ERC20 token. When I look at PulseZen, the pay it forward redistribution system, I look at it, and regardless of price, how do you generate and receive rewards, and through an economic economy where the code is identifying and saying that there will be a redistribution. So this economy, even at the price that PZEN is today, which yes has had a minor correction, but when I say that it is non-correlated is because the profit taking from PZEN has not been large whale positions. They had a significant position, and the way the redistribution works, all the holders benefit. So in this case, you receive more PZEN. But as we look, so a modest 5%. The economy of PZEN is growing. The redistribution system, pay it forward, wealth generator, allows everyone to generate passive income. As we see, there's 2,300 holders of PZEN. It is early. Well, now, this was Hex, listed on CoinMarketCap. PZEN, their liquidity is posted, but yet still not the true listing. But we scan through here and we look at PZEN. So we want to look at the transaction. So we have volume, but modest volume. So now we look and we see today's the 31st. Each one of these distribution, how modest the pay it forward is, you see what's happened here. Modest redistribution. Pay it forward. So now you look and we're up 4%. So PZEN is a fair economic economy, giving anyone an opportunity to take a position, and that's why I say take a strong enough position. So when the redistribution occurs, you receive a proportion, but a strong enough proportion of yield. And as you wait for a market trend, but remember, this is early. So PZEN, as the community grows, the 2,300 holders. That's why I state unite, because you're stronger in numbers. If you have a multitude of movements or buys, so in this case right here, very modest. Well, now, if the community unites, you can generate and create whale-like movements because there's no large whales that are manipulating. It's a fair economy. So giving a common person, someone that wants to generate an income and also have price appreciation as the community grows, because the community is growing as you share the benefits of a pay it forward wealth redistribution. So PZEN is an early opportunity. But what happens is market psychology. And what we've had is where you originate from. So you migrate, it's a subset or a sub-community that also has ties to another or other communities, which is perfectly fine. But at no time has Conrad Zen, and certainly myself as well, is anti-hacks. There's certain projects that I like more that are designed to be launched on PulseChain. And this project, I truly do believe, is a great opportunity, taking a strong enough position. I do know that the best time to purchase is when there's negativity and doubt in a market, because when you make your gains, it's when you purchased your security or your crypto. So when you make a purchase, and a strong enough purchase, when I look at things, I look at is what is my downside. I try to enter always having, I'm aware of the potential upside, but I need to know what is my potential downside. Because if I don't understand and see the trend and I'm not familiar, I analyze and break down. I need to know where the trend lines are, support and resistance. So a purchase, when it's made, I want to limit my downward pressure, so I'm not buying anything blindly. But what I do see with PZEN is that the community, as it grows within a subset community, it's not anti any particular community at all. That was a fudded statements that were made towards PulseZen. And that was my main purpose to come out to support Conrad Zen, because I did do my homework and did look at the code and identified that no, this was not a rug pull. So there was an error or poor judgment to create FUD. So PZEN is an early opportunity. Power in numbers, because numbers do not lie. So how you originate at a number, either you're going to have smaller buys with a larger number of participants. It still represents the same. So the community taking a position and taking a strong enough position. So PZEN is deflationary, so we know that there's a burn. So each interaction, there is a function to reduce the supply. So PZEN did not start off with trillions of tokens given to someone for free, and then let's reduce the supply by purchasing or again giving something else for free. PZEN happened organically. When you do something to that other extent, and not to call out any, what the intent there is understanding a Metcalfe's law. Their only interest now is to get engagement. But there's massive inflation within those currency tokens, cryptos, and then they're going to reduce it. Well, now what happens is, because there's massive inflation, it's going to be selling down the price. And then you want to eat up that inflation they created something. How those things play out, who knows? But I do know that PZEN right off the get-go is deflationary. And it's not correlated to what has happened. Psychology plays an important role, and some have decided to take profits, which is perfectly fine. But this is not a large whale-dominated ecosystem. This gives everyone an opportunity to take a substantial position, to have that substantial position and receive your continuous compounding rewards per every transaction transfer. So the amount of compounding that occurs far exceeds any traditional base staking. In this case, it's all based on interaction. So when someone decides to sell and sell a large position, the pay it forward system benefits all the believers. Well, all the believers are called Zenites. At any time could unite and add to their position. That's how important it is to stay united. We're stronger in numbers. And also a larger whale may enter the ecosystem, which recognize the benefits of a pay-it-forward wealth redistribution system that benefit all that interact. So all working together. So there hasn't been any full press releases, but that may happen in the future, because any one of the community members may elect to do that. So this 2% pay it forward redistribution benefits all, whether you're selling or buying or transferring. But it's important, you need to take a strong enough position. And at the price that PZEN is at this time, 0.002, I would encourage, do your homework, but dollar cost average. And when you have this opportunity, is recognizing the opportunity. When you look back, because hindsight is always 20/20. So the pay it forward redistribution truly does distribute a fair, equitable distribution of wealth, because you all working together, united, creating a cooperative ownership of this PZEN ecosystem. So the thing is that we've become accustomed to just follow the herd and become accustomed to follow large dominant players that have wealth, that we have to follow that particular procedure. But a pay it forward redistribution system, if everyone is paying it forward and taking a position, everyone will benefit because it's a fair redistribution. So now, using a pay it forward through a coded ERC20 token that is identifying a pool that all the participants receive their redistribution with each transaction transfer, which is continuous. So now you're generating income and yield, but also increasing your ownership or identified as a yield. So PZEN creates this continuous compounding reward, which is what you want, but also price appreciation. Because if you did a number and we look at it and you say, okay, here we have 2,300 holders. So out of the 2,300 holders, if all the holders want to gift each one of the Zenites $25 through a pay it forward redistribution, well, just with a $25 redistribution, pay it forward gift to each other, that's a $57,000 entry, which redistributes PZEN. So stronger in numbers, so all working together. So that's 28 million PZEN. That a simple $25 pay it forward community dollar cost average entry into a position that we already have creates an enormous redistribution in the system just with that small community. But the goal is to share the opportunity, because a common person or a person that wants to generate wealth, if they had not generated wealth, if everyone works together, and at any point, yes, you may take a distribution, but even that distribution that someone takes, there's a redistribution, a thank you, pay it forward. But the community can work together, and that's where I state mass with force. You're always stronger in numbers. When I say the few control the many, the people, but there is a larger amount of people that also, when you pool the income or the amount of money pooled, it grows substantially. So it's not always following just a big whale. We can create whale-like participant behavior, all working together. Just wanted to share those thoughts and we can all gift one another a pay it forward New Year's where you're dollar cost averaging. But the number would be amazing. If we take a 2300 pay it forward dollar cost average, the participants that are in PZEN supporting one another, and you do this with a small $100 investment, that's a $230,000 distribution divided by the PZEN. That's 115,000 PZEN, 115 million PZEN. You accelerated the burn. We contributed to the charity, and each one of the members, based on our percentage of our pool size, then gets a redistribution with that minor investment. Take a strong enough position, but we have to stand strong. Yes, we've originated from one community, still no ill will, because we're still that. Some people have 15-year stakes. Keep at perfect. It will be around. But PulseChain will eventually launch. PulseZen will be a contributor to that ecosystem and the Ethereum ecosystem. But there's a transfer of wealth that can occur into PulseZen. And if the communities understand the importance of transfer of wealth from one to another, all of a sudden it becomes life-changing. I want to wish everyone the best. I'll talk to you in the new year. Thank you.